Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You joined my game at a bit of an interesting time because, yep, they're gonna keep coming. I can't really stop them. But, this little guy decided to try his luck. Fighting with lag is not easy. Right, well, we haven't changed very much. I've finished up the other side of the tree farm. Yep, that happened. And I've dismantled our... Oh, I feel bad for this guy. Every now and then he'll look up at me and just rock side to side. Yeah, pretty much like that. Poor guy. Also in the news on that note is we have a new friend. He decided to spawn outside the farm, so, hello, Walter. Yeah, and our main problem today is shifting melon production, which is, I believe, going to go somewhere behind those stairs over there, which I've also slightly renovated. But our trees are growing quite happily. Ooh, this one's quite full. And that shall give us a much more stable, much closer wood production facility there. Ooh, he's up to going to look for himself. Beyond that, I've done a bit more work on the flooring around here. I had to put up that barrier up there just to keep Walter from wandering a bit too close to the villagers, because then he just goes into auto patrol mode and doesn't really want to move anywhere else. I still haven't explored up these stairs. Imagine there's quite a bit there, but that's probably for another day. Ow. I cleared out the soul sand and the nether wart that was down here, because we already have a big batch downstairs, and we don't really have much of a use for soul sand as it is. Because in order to use soul sand, we need brewing stands, which would require that we could first kill blazes and then somehow get cobblestone, and then we'd need to find sand to make glass, to make bottles, to fill with water. It's a fairly roundabout process that we can't really do in the nether alone. I still haven't expanded this much, but this pretty much leads to a dead end as near as I can tell. It just breaks off into a damaged bridge section. And I'm thinking, rather than just having this kind of pointless little pathway here, we shall have the melon farm. So, for the moment, quickly over into my test world, where I'm going to show you my plans on that. Okay, so here we are once again in my testing world, which is quickly becoming night. Solve that. By the way, yes, I do have access to my little commands here, and hello. You shouldn't be in there. Oh. Anyways, yes, I have this little quick display setup. Just to kind of demonstrate the way that melons work. That is a strange zombie. Now this is kind of the setup that we have right now, just down the corridor. We've got some melon stalks right next to each other, and they only have one space where they can really just spread out to. Which is fair enough, except there is a slight problem with that. You see over here, we have demonstrated the different spaces that a melon can actually spread to. It can spread to the left, to the right, back, and forward. And the important thing to remember is that every time that a melon stalk tries to grow, it randomly chooses one of those spots to check, and if that spot is if that spot is vacant, then it takes it. It fills it with a melon. So over here, this does work, but we're only getting 1 out of 4 of those spaces every time. So there's a 3 out of 4 chance that we will just completely skip one of these growing stages. So what most people try to do to fix that is they have sort of this crisscross kind of pattern. The problem there is another detail of melon growth, which is if you have a melon here, like if a stalk is already connected to a melon, it will not try to grow at all. It will make sure that there is no melon around before it actually starts trying to grow. So it needs to have basically this full empty 4 spaces before it actually tries to grow at all. So to kind of just, there are limits really, but this is sort of the layout I've designed for Nether Expedition. We've got glowstone directly above all of our stalks, so they all have full power. And we've got space enough to move around all of our melon plants wherever they might actually turn up. Every single stalk has its own 4 spaces to grow to, so not one of them will ever influence another. There is a slight downside to this, which is that we're not really maximizing the amount of output that we can have, but considering we're only supplying me, and with the output of 1 melon, there is certainly a lot more melon slices than I actually really need. Hello, Steam. Evidently I forgot to turn you off. So yeah, this is kind of just the layout that we're going to have. We've got the 16 pieces of dirt separated across 6 melon stalks and these 2 decorative plants, just because I can't really find any other use for them right now. And these should allow us to get 6 at maximum and 6 at minimum as well, because if we had any less than this, then we would we'd have basically the same problem we have over here, which is we have 5 plants. Potentially we can get just 2 kind of melons out of it, and that's a bit of a problem, because we have 1 growing here which shuts off these 3, and then another 1 going here which shuts off those 2. So the max here is 5, but the minimum is 2, whereas over there the max and minimum is 6. So that's an advantage. Melons are a bit of a tricky thing to actually work for. Okay, so with that all done and said, I hope you've enjoyed that little informative piece, and we are going to head directly back into the Nether and start building, so I shall see you back there. Okay, and welcome back. And once again, we're here in the Nether, and we're going to be building our melon farm, so I'm going to start tearing out a good chunk of this corridor, and I shall see you after the time lapse. And today's music is something by Symphony of Science, so it's probably worth checking out. I personally highly recommend it. I think we'll go with a very geeky one, which is Yoda's Feel the Force, and you can find Symphony of Science at melodysheep on YouTube. That is melodysheep. One word, not Welsh. Okay, and I shall see you all in a bit.
I'm not looking for a friend. I'm looking for a Jedi Master.
Jedi Master? Yoda. You seek Yoda.
Yoda.
Clear your mind of questions. You must unlearn what you have learned. The Jedi strength flows from the Force. That is the way of things. For my ally is Force, and a powerful ally it is. Its energy surrounds us, binds us. It binds us. Luminous beams are we, not this true matter. You must feel the Force around you, between you, me, between. My ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is. Its energy surrounds us, binds us. The Force. The Force. Adventure. Excitement. A Jedi craves not these things. For 800 years have I trained Jedi. A Jedi strength flows from the Force. Luminous beams are we, not this true matter. You must feel the Force around you, between you, me, between. Feel the Force. Feel the Force. Feel the Force around you. Feel the Force. What you have learned. Only a fully trained Jedi with the Force as his ally will come.
Oh dear. Well, this little interlude is brought to you by me being a complete idiot. So, now I need to find a way out of here and back into the fortress. And unfortunately, I've just been hearing ghasts, so... Ooh, boy. Okay, this might do the trick. Ow. Ah, thanks. I have explored this section. Hey, 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 hey. The bright side is there's a lava field over there, so I didn't fall into that. The downside is I've also got my measurements wrong on this building about 5 or 6 times, so, nothing. No, that's good, I'm very close here. So I'm having to tear down walls over and over and over to get this right. How many goals we have built in there? That's just the one. Hello, Walter. Right. Back to Yoda.
If you choose the quick and easy path, you will become an agent of evil. Luminous beings shall be not this true matter. You must feel the force around you. Between you, me, the tree. Will I rest? Yes, forever sleep. Twilight is upon me. Soon, light must fall.
Okay, and that's everything for now. So, as you can see, we've got all of our stems nicely set up and growing beneath our, what will become their little incubator designs. We've got our pieces there, and we'll get the flowers. We're getting a lot of flowers alongside the iron, so I figure we might as well put them to some use. Certainly decoration works, although they can only be placed on dirt and grass, so this is about as useful as they'll get. But that's probably about as much as I'll show for now. I'll install the floor pattern maybe next episode or before then. But yeah, now we have our food supply right next to our main area here. And we have Walter, who has already killed me a pigman here, so let's just go and do a quick check on the Iron Golem farm, see how many things are coming out there, make sure Walter doesn't see us going, and I believe that will be all for today. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. That's just the one. Volume may go down a fair bit here, but we'll see. I have expanded the lava blade here to 2 blocks wide, but I haven't got one on the other side, so there's still a few of them I need to nudge into it. But that may be another thing for another episode. Ooh, 5. Very nice. Okay, so I'm growing rapidly parched in this summer heat, so I shall see you all next week. Bye!